Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm April Martinez.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And thank you so much for joining us, Belize. Good morning.
It's Thursday, April.
Thursday.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
Yeah, but
it's almost over.
It's almost over. Friday Junior, as we say it over here on Open Your Eyes. And it's going to be a great day. I mean, the sun is shining.
We both wore yellow.
We both wore yellow. That's a sign.
You know.
Yeah.
And Abu also wore yellow.
And I see our director is wearing yellow.
Is it a yellow day? What's going on
It's
today?
a yellow day. It's a yellow and mellow day.
It's a great day to wear yellow, to feel happy, because I think
happy.
yellow is a
Yeah.
happy people color.
Yeah, so it's a great day to smile.
It's a great day to smile.
What did John say? It's a great day to be great.
Love
And it's great that we are on this morning, that we were gifted with the blessing of waking up to see another day. And you know what, April? There's a lot happening. There's a lot buzzing. And we want to jump right into what's buzzing, starting with a segment that we introduced last night in our newscast. So we've over time we've been introducing these different feature segments. We've had Culture Tuesday. We've had
on Belize on Real.
Belize on Real on Thursdays. On Mondays we have Sports Mondays.
Bright Side with Sabrina on
Bright
Fridays.
Side with Fridays.
Yeah.
And then we know for Open Your Eyes specifically we have Transformative Living on Tuesday morning.
Yes.
So the folks over here at Great Belize Productions Channel 5, we've been hard at work to bring you the best products and the best quality at that.
Yes.
And so last night, we introduced the 5-point breakdown.
I gotta say, when Isani had first introduced it yesterday morning, I said, I wonder how you're going to break down things like statistic numbers and economics, because you know those are some of the hard things that people try their best to grasp. And for a statistician or for a physician or someone in physics, it's difficult to break down numbers beyond their comprehension, right? So,
and some of these technical terms as well, like some technical terms in with statistics and physics and medicine. They are what they are.
They are what they are. They can't break it down
Right.
more than they already know, right?
So these terms are the breakdown of these of the explanation.
But I got to say, when when they touched on the census, because that is what they were touching on, the population census. I loved that he started off with definition and then breakdown of each one. And then so after the segment was done, I had like a light bulb moment, and I'm like, oh, that's why it's called the 5-point breakdown.
April, if you do research, and especially for school, if let's say you're doing a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, they often require that you have various perspectives in your research, whether it's the socioeconomic perspective, depending on what you're working on, it may present some sort of economic perspective. If it's something with religion, there's a religious perspective. So what the 5-point breakdown on Wednesday night will seek to present to our audience is these complicated topics that we often discuss, but not in depth, because we don't have a full grasp or understanding of it.
And one of the things that I've realized over the few short time that I've been here is that as media houses and as journalists, you guys have been absorbing this information for so long that you know what you're talking about, but then you can't talk about that to
right.
the layman or to a primary school kid or to a high school kid. You have to be able, you as a journalist have to also break it down further.
So we've created this space for exactly that.
Yeah.
So that our journalists, us as reporters, we have this space to fully ventilate some of these issues. And for me, it's a sweet space.
Yeah.
It's a space that I saw Isani last night take a hold of. And him and his editor, Chris Mangarde, they put themselves into the story. They did a good job script-wise as well as visually in bringing the population census into context in terms of how it impacts economic development, in terms of how it impacts housing.
And you didn't just explain it, you provided detailed examples when you brought in the
Mr. Theos.
Yes, Mr. Theos of BAPTA.
Yeah.
And that shows you, why we need this census. It wasn't just a piece to show you this is what this persons with disabilities is going through. This is a piece to show you, all right, if you don't get the necessary data, the government won't be aware of these numbers. They won't be aware of these statistics to ensure that there is enough funding to assist these persons in these conditions. So it goes a long way, you know. And if you count yourself out of this census, you're not providing accurate data. So you're also not helping yourself if you need assistance too, right? So
that was the first of many the 5-point breakdown segment. Get used to the name.
It's a mouthful because you have Culture Tuesday and Belize on Real, which they but as Isani had mentioned, this is not a weekly segment, it's a bi-weekly segment to break down particular news headlines for perhaps the 2 weeks that flow by. But Paul, what is also buzzing and for our, not necessarily for a breakdown, but we are in the midst of the National Agriculture and Trade Show.
We are.
And we had
agree. People
I just
have
call it
all kind of name for showgrounds.
But there was a news piece last night
with
the Woman Farmer of the Year, and she is phenomenal.
April, I tell you, man, I sat down and I gleaned over that story.
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing.
Marian and Kenroy did such an amazing job, but it all came together because of Miss Stanley and the work she is doing in Trio. She's the farmer.
Yeah.
The farmer, they say woman farmer of the year. And it's the work she's doing down there. Her story of migrating from Honduras to Belize at 29, seeking and searching for success in Belize, moving to the urban area in Belize City, running a small shop. Yeah. That didn't work out. Being in a relationship that also didn't necessarily work out. And she had all these bad breaks in life. And you know what? At that point, she could have quit. Yeah. She could have given up. But she did what most of us probably wouldn't do. Let's move to the jungle, find land, and begin to plan.
And it's not just that, Paul. It's the fact that she does it in such a sustainable way. She doesn't let the fact that there are obstacles in her way, deter her from doing the job that she needs to do. And she has her own 4 children, and on top of that, adopted 2 other children that she assists as well. I mean, this is not just somebody that is farming for farming's sake. She's giving back to the community and contributing to that societal change and progress. It's amazing.
And April, I'm not one to distinguish or differentiate between a man's job and a woman's job. So that's not where my mind goes. However, I am at awe with how well she puts her hands to the plow, literally puts her hands to the saw, puts her hand to the machete.
The machete where she chop every single.
She's 100 machete she's been through, because every time she feel like this machete no good, she just go and buy another one. So we need to perhaps get her a weed eater or something like that.
No, I don't think she wants a weed eater. She needs a good sharpener. She needs a good machete sharpener.
But I am super encouraged by this, and I think that she, as perhaps many other women out there, are well deserving. She is
Yes.
well deserving of this award.
I think that it's not just about the farming too, it's the brilliance behind it, because as I understand, she doesn't have a, a large water source around her. So what she does is she takes the bamboo.
I was looking forward to that part.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to. But, you know, she takes the bamboo and she connects it like a straw to the nearby water source to plant her vegetable garden. And it's phenomenal. So, of course, I think of course she did. Tell me something and I will 100% believe that she did it, honestly. But congratulations to her. She is
Miss Stanley.
Miss Stanley, she's phenomenal. She's more than deserving of this award.
And I see that our supporters, our viewers on social media, that they're also loving this story. They're eating it up. Men and women, it's a story of encouragement.
It's a story of motivation, Paul.
It's a motivation.
It's a motivator. I can't imagine how many times life has knocked us all down and we feel like we can't get up. And this woman get up and said, nope, I'm going to make an empire. And she did exactly that. So congratulations to Miss Stanley once again. And I hope that these interest pieces have motivated you this morning. You don't have to necessarily go to the jungle and, you know, start a farm, but perhaps that one little thing that you didn't think you could do, try it today and see if you can do it.
Indeed.
As we move on with motivating you this lovely Thursday, we bring you the eye opener taken from dailyam.com, and it goes like this. We all have many aspects to ourselves. Integrating these parts into wholeness is an important step in healing. Sometimes it feels as if we have many different people living inside us, expressing themselves in voices that seem distinct from one another. There is the inner child with its wants and needs, the angry voice that expresses its opinion, and probably several more as well. With all these different parts of ourselves express differing desires and needs and opinions, we may begin to feel as if we have no clarity. It is difficult to know which voices to pay attention to and which ones to ignore or dismiss. Even if we manage to move forward amidst the confusion, doubts and concerns may linger in our psyches simply because they have not been fully expressed and examined. As a result, we may have trouble being at peace with the decisions we do make. We can summon the many fragments that make up the whole of who we are and give them each a chance to speak. This can be a helpful tool in the face of a decision we need to make, and it can also be a fruitful path to take in the interest of self-exploration and self-care. We can imagine a round table in which we gather all the various representatives of our being, allowing them to name themselves and giving them a chance to speak. As we listen, we may be amazed at the wisdom and energy stored in these fragments of ourselves. You know, I don't know. I don't think I'm the best person to give advice on this eye opener, because I feel like this
speaks to you
every single day.
Yeah, confused.
That's just I don't want to call it a disability or disorder, but you know, when there's so many things happening all at once in your head and you're able to follow through or multitask, but sometimes one of them is extremely overwhelming over the other and you're not really sure what decision to make in your life. And because you're not sure what decision to make in your life, you lash out or you have an emotional tantrum, if you will. And sometimes when I get in this state, I think I just stop. I have to just drop everything and breathe for a second and be with my inner thoughts. I even have an app on my phone that reminds me to meditate at least twice a day and to focus on my breathing, because sometimes you're not sure what decision will be the best one and you might make the wrong decision, right? So in moments like this, I guess my advice is to breathe. To stop what you're doing, take a breath, and at least take a minute to focus on your breathing, breathe in, breathe out, relax yourself, and then listen. Because it kind of becomes like you're in a frantic state. I don't know if this happens to everybody, but that happens to me all the time when I get to a state.
I think it's normal.
Yeah.
And I think it happens to a lot of us, and sometimes these feelings of confusion and worry they can last for days if you're quite honest with yourself. And like you say, you could curb it in most cases by simply stopping, taking a breath, and processing all the thoughts that's going through your mind. I'll tell you though, at the end of the day, you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
A decision has to be made. And this is where you cross that bridge from confusion into some sort of peace. Yeah. When you find peace in the decision you make, and that's after that, everything else that comes after is just like distraction.
Yeah.
It's distraction to cause you to doubt and question the decision you've made. But once you make a decision, you stick with that, find peace with that, and that's one of the ways you fight off confusion.
I think that at the end of the day, I always tell people we're all just out here trying to human.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to figure it out, and there is no right or wrong way to do it.
So what if you fail, right? We don't know. Honestly, we oftentimes take failure to be this huge, monumental, life-breaking thing, but failure is a part of growing. Failure is a part of
it's a lesson.
Progress. Failure is a lesson.
Yeah.
So if you try to avoid failure at every step, you might make no decisions.
I think it's very human to try to avoid failure.
It is.
So I don't know how we can manage these kinds of differentialities and confusions in our life. But wherever you are this morning, I think that what Paul and I are trying to say is if those thoughts are so overwhelming and confusing, stop, take a breath, relax. It will be okay, and you will be able to find that decision that is the right one. So I hope you have that conversation.
Feel the zen.
You feel the zen? I want to feel the zen with the weather this morning.
Okay, well,
I want to be able to understand the general situation for today. Right. So as we get the folks from the Met service this morning, it was a nice drive this morning. Here's that weather update. Yeah.
Good morning. Seasonably fair and warm conditions prevail and will support mostly sunny skies today and partly cloudy skies tonight. Little or no rain is expected, and this trend will continue Friday and Friday night. Winds today will blow from the east and southeast at 10 to 20 knots, and seas will be choppy. High tides will occur at 9:44 this morning and 10:58 tonight. Low tides follow at 4:47 this evening and 4:23 tomorrow morning. Temperatures this afternoon peak at 82 Fahrenheit up in the Maya Mountains, 88 along the coast, and 95 inland. Sunset is at 6:10 this evening, and the moon goes down at 6:53 tonight. The fire risk for bush and forest fires around the country is at a high level today and will continue at this level for another 24 hours. In the sargassum forecast, latest observations continue to show small to medium sargassum mats along the coast of Belize. There is a medium chance that more mats could drift ashore, mostly south, during the next few days. And that's the latest from the Belize Weather Bureau. Do have a pleasant day.
Seeing the general weather prevail, it's becoming a little bit more stable. The weather, I'm seeing it, but I never bet on climate. I just go with the flow. I don't try to manipulate the masses, but it seems like it's going to be a good day today. As we move on with our show, Paul, we have 4 segments this morning. So we are going to bring these wonderful conversations to you. Of course. The first conversation is all about resilient reef strategy development. And of course, we're going to have folks from the Resilient Reef Initiative and the Belize Coastal Zone to talk to us about the official launch today. So we're looking forward to that conversation.
And we have in our second conversation our friends from TASA. And it's TASA at 10. Ooh. Not 10 in the morning, but 10 years.
Wow.
Right. And so the executive director, Vladimir Andrade, will be joining us to talk about TASA at 10. They're doing some amazing work out there at Turneffe. And so we'll get to delve a bit into that this morning.
And after that, we're going to have the Ariel Rosado's Foundation fundraiser that's going to be taking place this weekend. And so we'll have representatives from that fundraiser to join us to talk to us all about how you all can get involved.
And have you been following the BEBL.
I know you have.
Well, we have our friends in from the Defenders basketball team. Defend the city. For defend the city.
I feel like we don't need to have a basketball match on OIE.
Yeah, well, that's another conversation, April. And so the Defenders basketball team, some members of that team, they'll be in to talk to us about their upcoming game.
Wonderful. But as the theme song says, we're going to take the break and we'll be right back with more OIE and the Resilient Reef Strategy Development. Stay with us.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Whether you are getting ready for school or the office, or to work on a construction site, there is one common factor. Great days start by looking your best. From the moment you start to button your shirt, strap your boots, or straighten your badge, every detail of your uniform was sourced with you in mind. At Tropicana Store, we pride ourselves in providing the highest quality, most durable uniform brands. Our collection includes 100% cotton or dry fit, wrinkle-free, smart crease, and machine washable options. Your uniform is a reflection of you, and you deserve to look your best. Visit Tropicana Store today and see for yourself the high quality that only we can provide. Your uniform, your identity, your choice. Only at Tropicana Store.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Ray, what's wrong? It's him. He hit me again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800 A Way Out. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628.
And we are back with our first conversation for this morning. It's all about resilient reefs strategy development.
Ooh.
And we have the folks in to tell us all about it. Joining us in studio, we have Amy Armstrong, who is the director of the Resilient Reefs Initiative of the Great Barrier Reef, and Kayleen Eck, who is the Resilient Reef Officer at the Coastal Zone Management Authority and Institute. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so we've been listening, well, actually been hearing this conversation about Resilient Reefs initiatives for quite some time now. But what is so important about this event that's taking place today?
Yeah, the Resilient Reefs Initiative launched back in May 2021 here in Belize. We're one of 4 pilot sites that are operating globally to develop a groundbreaking pilot or strategy for reef resilience. Naturally, it's a very momentous occasion. It's something unique of its own. Belize is no stranger to any strategies. We have so many, but what makes this one more unique and groundbreaking is, you know, we're partnering and with so many global partners and local on-the-ground initiative to build upon excellent work that's already happening. Today we launched the strategy at Biltmore, and you know, we're hoping that it continues to build that hope, and you know, we have a smooth launch.
But what is the strategy about this time? What is happening today?
Yeah, so the strategy is based upon directly responding to resilience challenges that we've identified through this development process. So again, one of its unique features is we're only releasing 3 flagship actions, very major, and every output that comes out of this feeds into national interests, priorities. For example, our Belize Sustainable Ocean Plan, the Integrated Coastal Zone Management Plan, upcoming carbon sequestration initiatives, the RED Plus. We're working alongside coastal communities to develop and supplemental livelihood opportunities, continuing great work from projects that have come and had some really, good success, but we really want to build upon that and make it more, better for.
So what exactly are we talking about when we speak to reef resilience, and why should the average Belizean, particularly those in mainland Belmopan, inland Belmopan, for example, we only know
river.
River, and Tencent Creek the Belmopan, and there isn't much to do about reefs. We would think. So what do we talk about when we talk about resilient reefs, and why should the inland residents care?
Sure. Coral reefs globally are incredibly important, both for economy, for biodiversity. I mean, 1 million people globally rely on reefs for food, jobs, storm protection. They house a quarter of all the biodiversity, all the fish and animals in the sea, even though they make up less than 1% of the sea floor. So they really punch above their weight in terms of importance. Wow. In Belize, half of the population, their income relies on the barrier reef here in some capacity. So for tourism, for the fish industry, et cetera. So I think, I don't know that you all, maybe even, you kind of take for granted the fact that you're sitting next to the second largest barrier reef in the world.
Right.
It is hugely important globally, and you all are leaders in conservation. And so, you know, I'm here as a global partner to provide some resources and support, but I think everyone has to care about the reef. It's a central part of the culture, the economy, and it's crucial globally for the environment.
I really like that you said that we take it for granted, because we absolutely do. And so when we're talking about the strategy plan, how does tying in that factor set in with not just the coastal communities, right? Because like Paul said, we live inland, why are I supposed to care about the prairie? So does the strategy entail education campaigns and so forth?
Absolutely. So just to walk back and answer a bit more about Paul's question. So the definition used by the Initiative for Reef Resilience, it's more holistic than just an ecosystem approach. So it also seeks to, it's the capacity to survive, adapt, and overcome from shocks and stressors. And it includes communities as well. And we're also looking into governance structures. So it's not only just looking at ecosystem. It is a component, a very important one, but it takes a more holistic approach. And again, for someone inland, I like to reiterate, whatever we do on land eventually gets into the sea. So one component we considered very heavily and we're looking to develop for future work is a watershed action. So these 3 actions are starting. However, this is not the end. We will definitely continue to work with people to develop more action on the ground. In terms of each action and community involvement, the first one we could briefly summarize all 3. The first one, it's directly involved with the reef, and you know, it involves tour guide training for disease treatment. So a lot of people, stony coral tissue loss disease is one of the main resilience challenges that affect the reef right now. We went snorkeling on Tuesday, and the disease extent is it's pretty crazy. So what we're hearing from the communities is we want to be there to treat, but we need the training, we need capacity building. And so one of the actions directly seeks to explore that option. And hopefully once that pilot is up and running and we're seeing, you know, if it's a bit successful, we could scale up and go nationally. Secondly, we're working with the World Wildlife Fund and the Lands and Surveys Department to develop a coastal and marine land tenure assessment. Essentially, to develop a base of stakeholders, or to identify a base of stakeholders, for upcoming work, for, I don't know, carbon sequestration potential, mangrove restoration, for example, and just to get an idea of how best can we protect our coastline and involve the private-owned lands. Finally, we're working with WCS on livelihood, supplementary livelihood options. This is not new work. A lot of this has happened before. We've worked heavily with fishing communities, fisher folk in exploring livelihood options. However, a lot of barriers are getting encountered from, for example, product development to marketing to actually getting it sold on national and international scales. So we will be continuing that type of work, identifying barriers to, supplemental livelihoods and how best can we support.
How do we talk to more communities, and most communities that live on the coastline are relatively on the lower end of the poverty scale. So how do we engage these communities that you're able to make a living with the coast in a sustainable manner. It's not going to hamper you in any kind of way. And also ensure that they're able to make a profit off of it. So how do you balance that?
Yeah, that is the entire, you know, of that specific action. And we, again, we're still exploring what that answer might be.
Yeah.
Where at this point it's just identifying these barriers, getting on the ground ideas, actually working with communities and continuing on that type of work.
As a director, and you've worked in other communities and other capacities, how do you see this strategy rolling out for Belize compared to other places?
One of the things we heard from the Belize stakeholders very early on was that they didn't want another shiny document. Like Kayleen indicated, there's been a lot of outside funding to create strategies that are really important and give us important data, but often sit on a shelf. So we heard that, and we have approached this effort with what are some gaps that we can fill and money we can get on the ground quickly. So the 3 actions that Kayleen's mentioned, working on coral restoration in Turneffe, working with coastal communities in Glover's Key and Saltwater around ways to ensure that they have multiple options for not giving up fishing, but that we can create more economic opportunity overall. And then working to better understand coastal development trends and threats and opportunities for mangrove restoration and protection. So we've I think I need to convert to Belize dollars from Australian dollars, but about $1.5 million being announced today to fund those 3 actions. So I think that's one of the differences. A lot of the themes are similar. You know, the need for thinking about long-term restoration given climate change, the need to make sure that communities are safe and less vulnerable to climate change and less vulnerable to lower fish catches.
One of the things that I wanted to also touch on, because we're talking about these communities and what they're doing and how they connect with the coast, right? But a lot of these communities, particularly in Belize, also have to battle and compete with large corporations that invest in tourism.
Sure.
So does this strategy also play a role in engaging them and seeing how they're able to assist the communities instead of just taking away from their coastal livelihood?
Yeah, so, you know, again, as we dove into this resilience assessment, it was very, one of the biggest resilience challenges identified across the community was coastal development. And not essentially all development is bad.
Yeah.
It's the effects of that mangrove clearing, marine dredging, the lack of public infrastructure to support private development. And so where it was very clear from the get-go that communities voice this. It's a very popular concern. It's a long-standing issue. And so with Action 2, that's essentially the point. We're seeking to identify this stakeholder base of private-owned property to explore these options, working with communities, you know, reforestation efforts, and potentially feeding into long-term planning and building that type of support between community and private-owned lands. Yeah.
Just an observation. I mean, I think, again, I have the privilege of working with many countries around the world, and Belize, just by creating a ministry for blue economy, by saying we care about our people and our natural resources, and we're going to be thoughtful about that, is unique. There are not a lot of ministries for blue economy globally, so you know, I think there's a lot of really amazing leaders here who are thinking about those connections, and it's going to take time, but their heart and mind is in the right place.
Yeah. How do we go about having these discussions with these communities that we're making mention of as partners, so that you're viewed in that light and not in a negative light in terms of, oh, you guys are just coming here to stop our livelihoods, just to implement more rules. We already have a lot of rules, we already have a lot of policies, a lot of initiatives. And do you gather that Belizeans living in the coast and have a sense of the responsibility that is upon them to also be contributors of the sustainability of our reefs?
I mean, I wouldn't try and presume to know what Belizeans think. I'm you know, a visitor and a humble one, but I do think that in all of the engagement that our partners have done on ground, they've been really honest and transparent in that they're trying to get the true desires of local communities, and they understand that fishers want to stay fishers, but they also know that they need other options at the household level to make sure that they're going to be okay for the long term. So I don't know if that fully answered your question.
I mean, I could add 100%. We're not starting from scratch. So when we go into these communities, when we did our engagement sessions, they already knew the effects of climate change. They knew the decline of coral reef ecosystems. Every community that we've went to had critiques or feedback for MPA management of their MPAs that they visit regularly. So again, we're not the first initiative to be coming and having this discussion with them. They're very knowledgeable about these changes. They know the effects of climate change, and they've heard of supplemental livelihoods, fishing. And so coming to them with this conversation, we have to do it carefully, very mindful that, they're knowledgeable. This isn't a brand new conversation we've been having with them. And it's being open-minded and coming with, ideas to the table, taking their ideas into account. We're not coming to them
with ideas.
with ideas.
Yeah.
This is something that has, spawned from ground up. Yeah. It's not necessarily, we're not, coming top down and saying, these are new rules. Yeah. In fact, nothing within our strategy proposes new rules. Yeah. It's essentially just working with communities to, build in resilience-based management.
So you're launching this today. What is the time span of the initiative, and what can we talk about? What the results are you expecting from it?
Yeah. So the time span for the strategy is 1.5 to 2 years, so a very short turnaround period. Unlike some strategies that go for 5 to 10 years. We're expecting some very tangible outputs. So for example, from the Marine and Land Tenure Assessment, we're working directly with the Lands and Surveys Department to help digitize, to really find out what's happening along the coastline, and to have these layers updated, case studies to assist in other planning priorities. So for example, I brought up the Belize Sustainable Ocean Plan, the Integrated Coastal Zone Management Plan. It's an essential puzzle piece that feeds into several other planning efforts. For example, the ecosystem, working with UBERI and TASA for disease treatment and coral restoration options, where it's a trial process, and so not only we're going to get direct disease treatment, but we're also looking into supporting the National Coral Reef Monitoring Network in developing a national restoration policy in the long term. So whatever outputs that we come from this action helps to feed into future work.
So how bad is the coral bleaching right now along our barrier reef?
So as of this year, it's annual bleach events, some more than others. However, right now, again, it's the disease that is, at the top of everyone's priority list, getting access to that treatment option.
What does the disease do to the corals?
Essentially, it's a bacterial, we're still doing research. Very little is known about connection to mainland activities or the cause of this type of disease. However, we know it's bacterial. There's antibiotic treatment that seems to be having some kind of effective treatment. However, it's just sheer manpower that's needed to be out there on the reef and directly administer that type of treatment.
Is it stopping growth?
Yes, it directly kills the coral over time. So if it's not applied, it just slowly shrinks over time, and that's it, no more.
Wow. Wow. So in terms of the land tenure initiative that we're talking about, and I know you made mention of it briefly, gave a bit of description, but in terms of identifying who owns these lands and these private partners, how are we hoping that they can partner in this initiative? what are we asking of them? Or are we simply just identifying them for the sake of knowing, for the sake of having that knowledge?
So yes, it's having that knowledge. I mean, knowledge is power.
It is.
No, again, it's an essential puzzle piece into several initiatives. And when I say that, I don't want to talk for any other department or any other national interest, but a lot of carbon sequestration efforts are ongoing. So WWF has done extensive research into the potential for carbon sequestration, which leads to the development of a carbon framework, which may lead to for potentially a credit system, but that's way down the line, if any. And like I said, I don't want to, I don't want to, but it, again, essential puzzle piece for other planning initiatives. And yeah.
And I think, I mean, as part of, once you have a better sense of who owns the land, there will be some outreach to landowners to figure out what would be the incentives that would be necessary to encourage you to protect or restore your mangroves, and some education around the role that mangrove health plays in coral reef health and coastal protection. So I think there certainly will be that next phase of work as well.
Yeah. Is there any conversations or plans to collaborate with other ministries, particularly Ministry of Education and so forth, to talk to the kids and talk to high schools? Because I mean, we're talking about coral restoration, but you know, how do you put that into the terms that my little 8-year-old child will understand?
That's a good question. Yeah. So through the strategy development process, we directly partner with the University of Belize, the natural resource management class, to look at and really unpack the resilience challenge of coastal development. And so we brought in the graduate school at Columbia University, and we literally sat down, or not sat down, well, it was online over Zoom. But we looked at some very target areas along the coastline that have heavy populations, and just say, what are the resilience challenges? And it was quite an involvement between 2 universities. So I can say, at the university level, yes, we have worked, you know, in partnership with our local university. However, in terms of, you know, smaller or younger audiences, there is communication. However, it's not necessarily, you know, direct. It's more of an indirect thing. I mean, my advice, you know, we do have upcoming communication strategies, and we're looking at a household approach for livelihoods, but for most of it, it's, you know, directly for people 18 and above.
Right, because it's all of us, right? Like if they don't start from small caring about the reef, then we're just gonna create more problems. But okay, one more time for my audience. Launches today. At 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
At 9 a.m.
9:30.
9:30. Belize time.
9:30. Belize time. 10.
So 9:30 a.m. at the Toucan Hall at the Biltmore Plaza. And it is going to be just an official launching ceremony, yes?
Yes, and followed by an information session. So we'll be hearing directly from our partners to their respective actions. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, ladies. Is there any final words for our viewers this morning?
I don't know. You want to go first?
Just a lot of gratitude for the partnership that we've experienced here, and again, just recognizing what an amazing treasure you have on your doorstep, and the leadership that you all play globally in protecting it and innovating new finance and community ways of engaging and ensuring long-term health. So congratulations, and thanks for having us.
Yeah. Well, to viewers at home, I would say, and I guess local marine managers, you know, after talking community engagement and talking with everyone, it's very easy to lose hope in something like this. It's not an individual effort. It takes a community, it takes a nation, and international partnership to really bring together some of these actions and to actually respond effectively to shocks and stressors here in Belize. So my lasting message is don't lose hope. Get involved, go to your local NGOs within your communities. A lot of excellent grassroots initiatives are happening on small scale, even if it's a beach cleanup. If it's a river cleanup, you know, just get involved, reduce, reuse, recycle, and you know, keep your eyes, ears open, and if you see any type of you know, wrongful environmental impacts happening, report it, and yeah, just continue doing that type of, you know, great work.
Wonderful. Yeah. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning. The Resilient Reefs Initiative Strategy Development will be launching this morning, 9:30 at the Biltmore. And from transitioning from one climate resiliency to another, we'll be joined after the break with their friends from TASA. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
From now on, when you visit Uno, you will experience an A+ power in all fuels. Dynamax has evolved into Dynamax Plus. The new formula with the ultimate technology in additives provides an A+ power and A+ performance. Dynamax Plus, available in diesel, regular and premium. Try it today and reach further. Uno, a different energy.
60% of children in Belize ages 14 and younger are living in poverty. What are the policies and programs being implemented to reduce this number? Hear from the frontliners after a 3-day conference to chart the way forward for social protection for all Belizeans. Tune in to Channel 5 on Thursday, April 20th, as UNICEF Belize presents the Social Protection Roundtable, a live panel discussion on social protection and poverty reduction. View it live on Channel 5 at 7:30, on our streaming on Facebook and YouTube.
I was 17 and in love, and I thought he loved me too. But now I know that a loving partner should not take away your choice of clothes you wear or the music you listen to. He should not take away your purse, car keys, or your phone so that when your family calls, you cannot answer. If your partner is controlling you, it is domestic violence. Call 0800 A Way Out or our cell phone number 672-9628.
All right, and we are back on this Thursday, just like that, with our second conversation for this morning. And we have none other than a man who is no stranger to us here at Open Your Eyes and to Belizeans across the country and abroad. None other than Mr. Vladimir Andrade. And he's the executive director at TASA. If you want to know what TASA is, Valdemar. Sorry, I don't know why I said Vladimir. And TASA is the Turneffe Atoll Sustainable Association. Sorry for messing up your name, sir. Good morning.
No problem. Good morning.
Have you been called Vladimir?
I've been called Vladimir a lot. Actually, one of my son's name is Vladimir.
Oh, so. Really? Yes. So I mistook you for your son.
Good morning.
So I forgive Paul because he has and he has been helping us to sell this product. Of course, the Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association, as you rightly know, the reason why we ask you to kindly invite us to your show is we are turning 10 this year.
Wow.
You know.
10 years
old. Yes. And, you know, I first want to thank my entire Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association team and all the partners and donors and contributors for 10 years of solid work of conservation, sustainability, education, science, outreach, integrating ourselves into tourism and innovating marine conservation, and actually promoting Turneffe as a model marine protected area. And as you know, we have invited the media, and the media has done a great job in talking just about every aspect of it. It's a lot going on there, and so we are taking the next 7 months. We are launching here in April 22nd on Earth Day. We are launching our 10th anniversary celebrations to invite everybody in to see what we have done and talk about what we have done. Talk to the people who we have worked with, you know, the fishers, the tourism stakeholders, our board, our partners. You know, we're going to do videos so that people can understand who all has been involved in this, and you know that the media has.
Can I ask, can you walk us through, take me down to 2013, right? What was happening at that time when you decided we need the Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association?
Sure. So let me start by saying that, you know, the first 3 years I will talk about from what I have read and people that I have spoken to that are key to this organization. You know, people like Dr. Craig Hayes, who was there from Turneffe Atoll Trust and Turneffe Flats, who have put in many years of work. Julie Robinson, who was at the Nature Conservancy, who basically did a lot of the consultation work. Both of them did a lot of the consultation work with the fishers, the stakeholders. If you guys remember back then, there was a famous guy by the name of Mustafa Touré. I don't know if any of you ever met him, but he was a dynamic guy. I can't tell you the countless amount. I was at Belize Audubon Society at the time as the executive director. And he had approached us because he was saying, you know, this Turneffe Atoll was heavily used by fishers. It was being developed. And he thought it was the last frontier that needed to actually be, you know, conserved in a way. At that time, we looked at the UNESCO designation, Man and the Biosphere Reserve. We look at the UNESCO designation as part of the UNESCO designation reserve areas of the 7 sites that we had. But it took thousands and thousands of hours of consultation to convince people, because of course people, you know, like the fishers always believe that we are locking up spaces away from them.
Yes.
And so we had to explain to them that what we are doing is looking at a multi-use zone. Actually 85% of the area is still open to use and under certain guidance and restrictions in terms of the fishing regulations, the tourism regulations, development regulations, but it doesn't preclude you from using. You know, I was just asked by my good friend outside, you know, from the Ariel Cycling Association. They were, you know, I said, he said, is it about conservation? I said, no, this is really about people, right? It's about how people survive, because at the end of the day, we are intrinsically tied to the marine environment. I don't know many of you, I grew up eating fish, lobster, ceviche. I love ceviche, you know. And so, you know, it's about how do we make that sustainable for the future. That's why we're working on seaweed as well. So those thousands of hours then generated the support for us to establish the Turneffe Atoll Marine Reserve in 2012.
2012.
Right, so in 2012, the Marine Reserve was established, finally established after many hours of consultations and many different agreements and disagreements. You know, and then there was a need for an organization to be formed to actually manage it. So in 2013, November, the Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association was formed. And the difference in the way other marine reserves are designated is that Turneffe was designated in its entirety. Today, with the new expansion of the replenishment zones, we're talking about 360,000 acres of marine space that we manage. So 30 miles, 360,000 acres of marine space.
Wow.
And so it is 30 miles by 10 miles. And you have been there.
I have.
Right? And it's an expansive area to manage. And so, you know, at the end of the day, we had to look at how were we going to do this. The board is made up of the stakeholders. So all the stakeholders, so whether you're the government of Belize through the Ministry of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation, the Fisheries Department are represented on the board. The University of Belize is represented on the board. The Belize Tourism Board is represented on the board. All the tourism stakeholders of Turneffe are represented on the board. The fishermen are represented on the board through the cooperatives, and there's an individual fisher as well. We have strategic partners that are a part of the board. So this is really owned by the people who benefit from it.
You know, I wanted to, I've been out there. What key were we on?
We were on Calabash Key.
Calabash Key. So that's, I was out there on Calabash Key. I'm just having this conversation, brings back all that memory of the white sandy beach. I mean, the water is blue all the way up to the beach. I want to go back. In fact, I feel like going back right now. Just
you could go back as a part of the 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
I mean, it's
actually, we're having a media visit, Charlie, so you should come.
I should come.
Yes.
Keep that secret for me alone. but I mean, it's beautiful. And then when we talk about your seaweed program as well, and we talk about the tours that you have on Calabash Key as well. That's very informative, very insightful. Let's talk about a bit about the how we sustain the association, the approach that we're taking in terms of financial sustainability.
Okay, sure. So it's an excellent question, right? And we are right now at the point where we have come to this point at 10 years, and so now we have to figure out, okay, how do we consolidate all of this? We have done a lot. I think the team has really innovated a lot, but we have to figure out, okay, what works, what doesn't work, what can we afford, what is practical. In the sustainability, much of this has been driven by grants and donors and individuals who believe in what we are doing and who believe that this is firmly contributing to the economy of this country. And so those partners basically have funded us many grants. So we are, I would say, 80%, 75-80% grant funded. So we write a grant, we have to manage those projects. It takes a lot to do that. But as you know, we have been transforming that into a blended finance approach. And so basically, in 2020, we took an impact investment, which is a loan, right, from impact investors. These are private sector investors who believe that conservation impact is very important. And so there's no securities on that loan for $750,000 US dollars. It was a total of 1.2 million with the grant component financing that came along with it. And so based on that, we did a market analysis. We plugged into the tourism. We don't do tourism. We are not a tourism. We are not competing with our tourism stakeholders. What we have done is to build products that infills for the tourism stakeholders. So when we reached out to them, we asked them, what else do you need to make this happen? First of all, many of them were like, where is Turneffe?
Yeah.
That's sad.
And we still have that today. So a big part of it has been marketing. We have been working with the Belize Tourism Board. I have to give the Belize Tourism Board great kudos for the support there on our board as well. And this has helped us to ensure that we are marketing. But we have our own tourism program that is also helping to do that. Along with an organization who is supporting us called Blue Finance, who has been assisting us with doing this work. So that approach then has taken us to be able to build towards conservation fees that each resort pays and that each day operator pays. The resorts in Turneffe are very special. They understand this product. They know that it forms the backbone of their industry. And I have to tell you that today, you know, 2 of those resorts have quadrupled their fees. Blackbird Key Resort was the first to do so. Turneffe Island Resort has now signed on as well, and they will commence, I think, in July, August, in full at a full 100% of being a conservation support entity. Turneffe Flats, as you know, they have doubled their fees, but as you know, we have a conditional grant agreement with them as well to support for 1.5 million over the next 6 years. So this is to tell you the level of seriousness that these stakeholders have. We are also working with the day operators, right? And so we have many day operators from Key Cocker, San Pedro as well, who are signing on to these conservation agreements to be able to do this. A part of that is messaging to the guest, because involving the guest and letting the guests know and the visitor know, okay, how can they participate in this conservation work? Because many of them come to rest and relax, but they are very interested. People, especially in Turneffe, people are, you know, that can afford to go there, you know, basically are able to donate, they're able to give, and they understand the concept of participating in conservation. So that is a part of how we plan to do this for the future. We're not there yet, we are just commencing, but the work has had tremendous results to date.
You do have informative sessions that visitors get to engage your officers when they go in Calabash, for example. And if you aren't aware, April, the Wet Concrete that was sung is actually out there in Turneffe. We got a chance to visit. One of the questions I wanted to ask was about enforcement, however, because with all these regulations in place over that, and we're talking about land and water that spans over 30 miles, correct? How do we engage enforcement to ensure that the work that we actually set out to do is being done?
Yeah, so there's a couple of questions in there, but you know, I'll start by saying, in addition to in the financial sustainability program, the resorts allow us to go in and do what we call blue talks. Okay. So we present to the guests themselves, and we are able then to message to them. Many times after that session, you know, we have a merchandise approach that we do, where for a small donation they can have a gift, and many times you know, the visitors will give above and beyond the threshold, you know, of, let's say it's $40 for a shirt, they will give $100 for a shirt. We've got now up to $1,000 for a cup.
Wow.
For example, you know, are people understanding?
Some very nice people.
Right, and this is the approach, you know, and it takes a lot of different aspects to be able to do this and innovating what we do. In terms of enforcement, the best approach to enforcement is actually education. So the reason we gather all this data, the reason we do all the information gathering, so that we can inform the general public, the fishers, the tourism stakeholders, to be able to comply, because that is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is not to catch you and arrest you and take you to jail.
Right.
It is to let you understand what the sustainability approach is, how can you be a partner in complying, whether you're a fishery or a tourism stakeholder, whether you're a developer, whether you're a single landowner.
Right.
But just to answer your question, we have 16 conservation officers that are guided by an entire management team that does 25 patrol days per month from 3 bases. So we have a base in Marrakech in the north, a base on Calabash Key in the central, and one on the south. You know, that go out every day. There are normally between 2 to 4 officers, depending on the rotation, at those bases that go out. They interact with the fishers. We use a lot of technology, so we have the spatial monitoring and reporting tool where we record what we see on the vessel. We record the fishing license. We ensure that they're complying. We ensure that they're catching within the size limits, that they're complying with the seasons, that they understand. And then we also do education sessions with those same teams that goes and say, these are the data that we are gathering. We have on the south of the atoll, we have a radar that is basically capturing data 24 hours a day. And we are able to know if people are incurring on infractions. We have also been able to see tourism vessels and be able to invoice them for the visit through those technology. We use drones, we use vessel monitoring systems, that are satellite based to know where our patrols are. So it's, the data, and we can show you with certainty we are doing 4,000 patrol hours per year, 12,000 hours in patrol, science, and education per year.
I wanted to, because I know you said you're gathering this information for education for the local government, local population in Belize, but don't you think there's a disconnect from Turneffe with Belizeans? And I ask this because you said for those who can't go to Turneffe, right? So as somebody who has never been to Turneffe and probably will never go to Turneffe.
Oh, don't say that.
Because the boat is far away. How long it take you?
An hour.
How long?
1 hour. Hour 15, hour 30 on a choppy day.
Not too bad. But for those that will probably never see Turneffe in their lifetime, why is this information important for me?
I see the point of your question, but there are 1,336 fishers that beg to differ of knowing about Turneffe for the last decades and decades and decades.
I just want to know for everybody else
there are
who wants to
1,000 tourism
assist.
stakeholders that also have integrated, and so they also spread the word. The reason we also bring the media is if you can't come to Turneffe, we bring Turneffe to you so that you know that it is there. But we are challenged, and we are finding ways to do the Belizean, to bring Belizeans in. Again, we are working with BTB to see how we can ensure that as the Belizean traveler, how we can get people there, because there are different ways to do that, right? It means doing it like the Belize Audubon Society, where they do a special trips for Belizeans to bring them at a reasonable cost so that people can really enjoy and see the beauty. I encourage people to take the different options. I recommend that it's mostly in larger groups, say, 15, 20, 30 people at a time. That helps to defray the cost, and then we can work out the rest of it through our program that we have. And then we have preferred service providers that also understand that Belizeans need to go there. So yes, we are gradually getting to that. One big step in the right direction is first for people to know that it's right there. It's right in front of Belize
and
City,
that's why I asked, because it's there, and I will be very, very arrogant to say it's mine as a Belizean, right? So I should have access to see it and to care about it and to love it. Because in order for people to buy in, they have to want it and they have to care about it.
Sure,
right?
I mean, and that's the point of this exercise, right? This Turneffe Atoll Marine Reserve does not belong to TASA. It does not belong to the government. It belongs to all of us, and we want you to own it. So the approach, why we have the board is the way it is because we want people to own it. We want people to ensure that they understand that this is theirs. You should rail up that you can't get there. You should, because we should want every Belizean to. We also work with the community groups to do special trips that are defrayed by the resorts, that are defrayed by tourism stakeholders to bring them there, because that's the next generation that are going to own this or have to own this.
Yeah. So TASA at 10. And I know it's not not right now, but and you explained some of the activities that will surround what you all will do. But will there be cake, and how can I get?
Yes. So for the 7 months, every month, and we will send you the calendar. I think they already shared some of the calendar with you. We will be doing different activities. So in April, we launch with Earth Day. We are doing some short videos so that people understand basically how the reserve is managed, who all are involved, what do they do, what are their thoughts on how the reserve has been managed. And we have different activities from our enforcement program, from our education program, from our science program that will be done in the different months depending on the open and closed season of fish, so people understand, okay, what is it about conch? What is it about lobster? So that people can better understand why is it that we have this. Because many times people see a police with a big stick, right? And it's not only that; it's to understand, okay, how does this contribute to the economy?
Why do you have an open season and a closed season?
Exactly. And then this rolls into November, where we will have a big gala on November 4th. To be able to again culminate all our partners, our donors, thank everybody for the 10 years of work, and basically message, okay, what are we going to do for the next 10 years? You know, where, because this is not a short-term plan. This is a long-term plan. We really take pride and we really feel privileged to be able to do this on behalf of the government and people of Belize. And we take that very seriously. And so we want to inform everybody to understand, okay, what all have we done? What have we accomplished? Where the challenges are? And how we plan to continue in the next 10 years, and how we plan to overcome those challenges so that we can continue, and how we can get you to Turneffe to make sure, and the rest of the Belizean public to Turneffe, to be able to see this is mine, this is yours. Because if you understand, in the grand scheme of things, Turneffe is basically has $500 million Belize dollars of revenue worth to this economy. 382 million comes from shoreline protection from the 11,000 hectares of mangroves that are there. 150 million in tourism that occurs there. Turneffe is ranked top 10 on earth for fly fishing. Right? It's where you can hit the grand slam. Fly fishing is 6%, 6.7% of GDP. You know, the commercial fishing is 25 to 30% of the Northern and National Fishermen Cooperative production from Turneffe. For conch and lobster mainly, and we also produce a lot of finfish. We have $7 million worth of blue carbon that is locked up in Turneffe that also has to be monetized. We have not estimated the deep sea fishery as yet. So people have to understand that all this is yours, but it needs management. It's not something that's going to manage itself. Right?
Absolutely. TASA at 10. Mr. Valdemar, thank you so much for coming in. Congrats on 10 years of keeping this beautiful jewel alive for us and for the Belizean people, and I'll talk to you about it again then.
Yeah, and it's, remember, it's not only me, right? It's a team of people at TASA that has been doing this, and a team of supporters and donors that have been doing this along with us. And Paul, you're invited back, and you're invited.
So wait. I feel like Paul now tell me when it's time.
I will. I will. I'll make sure that
he got to jump off the whip.
Right? But from moving from one initiative to another, we are about to take the break, and we'll be back with the Ariel Rosado Foundation and what they're doing to raise awareness and funds. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
For a smart share plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you produce your driver's license, please?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, Mr. Vernon, it's valid.
Yep.
Mr. Vernon, did you know your insurance will be up tomorrow?
Oh, really?
Make sure you try to update your policy, please.
Thanks so much for the heads up. Babe, can you please renew my policy?
We know that you get caught up in life sometimes, which is why RF&G Insurance makes renewing your insurance policy easy with WhatsApp. Just WhatsApp the words "Get Started" to 670-8700. We will prompt you to select the service you are interested in. Select the service and answer a few simple questions. An RF&G representative will process your request and follow up with you when your transaction is completed. It's that easy. Use WhatsApp and skip the lines. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
All right, and we are back with our third conversation for this morning, and we have our friends over from the Ariel Rosado Foundation, and we have in with us none other than Miss Sylvia Catus, who is a board member and a member of the Education Committee of the Ariel Rosado Foundation, as well as Mr. Jermaine Hyde, and he's a board member of the Ariel Rosado Foundation.
Good morning.
Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, April. Good morning, Paul.
It's a pleasure to have you back. This is an annual conversation.
This is an annual conversation.
And every time you come back, we're excited because we know you're encouraging Belizeans to get out there, get active, get moving. And I hope list not full up already, like last year. By the time when we come, we never had space to nobody else, I think.
No,
but let's talk about the Ariel Rosado Foundation and what it is.
All right, so the Ariel Rosado Foundation was really something positive that came out of a tragedy. Yeah. We all know the life of our dear friend and colleague Ariel Rosado. Right. It's been 11 years now that the foundation has started. And the focus has been on getting students that acting as a facility to get students there that education, right? And so over the years we've focused on students from across the country and trying to get them scholarships for starting from primary school right up to Galen University actually.
So in 2012, from the inception, Galen was one of the partners with the Ariel Rosado Foundation. Since that time, we have graduated 7 Galen Eagles who came through us on Ariel Rosado Foundation scholarships.
So that we
offer. In fact, fun fact and very important fact actually is that the current cross-country champion was the first Ariel Rosado graduate from Galen University.
You lie.
Nope. No.
Wow.
Oscar,
yes,
yes. April, I don't know if he was there when you were there.
He was a little bit after my time. Let's not age me today.
Okay. So,
so you guys
and these
must
are
have felt
these
proud
are
about
100% scholarships that Galen University gives. What has really been very rewarding to the foundation lately is that we have managed so far to take one student from Pelote all the way through Pelote, then all the way through Galen University, and currently we have our student in our VETTEC program who went all the way through SCA and Ariel Rosado Foundation scholarship, and she's now going through a Galen scholarship through the Ariel Rosado Foundation.
So how do you guys go about selecting these recipients? How do you identify them? Are they chosen from a selected group, as a group identified? How does that work?
Well,
so we're now open for applications. People can go on our FB page, messenger us, or they can go to Ordonez Bike Shop and pick up an application. We have a scholarship committee. We review the applications. The first priority is that the student has to have a need. Yes, we want them to have good grades, but the first criteria is that they have to have need, okay? And then, and of course, they have to be already accepted into a high school.
Okay, interesting. And so, given that Oscar, for example, is from the West, I would imagine you get applications from across the country.
Yes, from across the country.
Okay, interesting. Now, how do you guys go about raising funds? Because that's one of the important parts of financing any scholarship program. How do we go about doing that?
There are numerous ways. Well, we have applicants for, by the way, we have scholars in every district. Every single district we have scholars in, and that is a priority. We make sure that that happens. We have individual donors who pay what we call dedicated scholarships. So Paul or April, if you guys want to sponsor a student, or if anybody out there
want a sponsor.
or if anybody out there want to sponsor a student, it's a good way if you want to put a child through high school to let the Ariel Rosado Foundation's program manage that scholarship for you. We have various corporate sponsors. Actually, we have many corporate sponsors, and
so how many how many scholarships do you give out? Because you say it's from primary, high school, and of course Galen University. So, how many students
per year?
Yeah, per year.
Well, it's based on, I believe, what the funding allows us, right? But so far I can say that we've had, like Sylvia mentioned, 2 from Galen. I know that currently we have 10 students from the primary school level that are in, and from the high school we have 40 students.
Wow. That's this year.
And you're financing all these students throughout their studies. So if you're in primary school, throughout primary school; if you're in high school, throughout high school.
We can do that. Our primary school program only started a few years ago, so we're just getting some of them in from high school. But we certainly we provide tuition and books throughout their studies.
One of the things that makes the scholarship from the foundation stands out from the rest, it's not just us paying the fees and leaving it there. We actually have our committees that goes to the school. We do school visits, we do mentoring with them, we have follow-up with their parents, you know. So it's not just providing the scholarship, but being with them every step along the way, ensuring that we foster that relationship between the foundation and the student as well.
Right, and twice a year, well, during COVID we didn't do it, we had to do a virtual, but we meet initially with the parents and the students when we give the scholarship and talk to them about the commitment, and they sign a contract with us, and of course we have motivational speakers for the students, etc. And then sometime before the end of the first semester of the school year. Again, we ask all the parents and students to come, and we meet to find out what are issues that students might be having, and we have small workshops to help to enhance the students, and also to help the parents to understand the commitment of getting their child through school.
Now let's talk about this weekend. An event is coming up, huge event, annual event, April 22nd. What is it?
It's one of our larger fundraiser for the year. It's the annual Ariel Rosado ride. This year we've switched. Usually the ride had previously started at the Galen compound in Cayo. But what we're doing, we're starting in Belize City.
Oh, a shorter ride.
Much shorter ride. Starting in Belize City at the Galen compound at BIM. And from there we go onto the Philip Golson Highway up to the Chetamal Street bridge. We get onto the George Price Highway to the roundabout at Hattieville, through Boom, come down through the Link Road, get back on the George Price Highway. Yes, heading down to the Flag Monument. So it's in that figure 8 shape that we've mapped out.
Yeah.
And riders can be assured that we've looked after their safety as we've done in all the previous years. We have commitment from the police department and the transport department, as well as the Belize City Council.
You call it a ride, but it's really a race?
No,
it's a ride.
It's a ride. It's a ride. So Paul, you and
I could go out and ride.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I don't have to be concerned about Kaya beating my chest or somebody.
No sprint for the finish. It's a ride for everyone.
Exactly.
I was prepared.
And so what we do, we have someone who controls the ride, so the ride goes at a certain pace. So naturally,
so there's no winner or loser.
Exactly. But of course, naturally, we do have professional riders who join us to support us, and we have to allow them to go at their pace.
Right.
So,
what can we do to apply and to be a part of the fundraiser?
Well, we ask a small donation of $25 to register with the ride. Children are $10, right? So you register the morning of the ride at the Galen compound. We'll have our personnel out there doing registration.
So it's open?
It's open. It's open.
Any amount of people?
Any amount of people.
Okay, good.
The Galen compound in Belize City. We are located at the BIM Center, right next to Healthcare Partners. Registration will start at 6 a.m. I believe also registration forms can be picked up at Ordonez Bike Shop. So please come and please register.
Do you get kids coming and doing the ride?
Yes, we do.
We've had 1 year we had as young as 8 years old.
Wow.
And that was when we did the longer ride, we had a 14-year-old. We have younger families come out.
Families come out.
So it's April 20th today, and then the ride is the 22nd.
22nd, Saturday.
How early can I apply, or how late can I apply, I guess is the question.
You can check Ordonez Bike Shop anytime now for registration forms, and of course come on Saturday morning, 6 o'clock, and sign up.
Is there a way that if I don't necessarily want to partake in the ride, can I still provide a donation fee? And how?
Yes, you can. The morning of the registration, you can do so. You can also reach out to the foundation via our Facebook page and inbox us, and we'll definitely provide information so that you can reach out and we can receive
And the ride begins at what time?
6:30.
6:30.
Registration starts at 6 and 6:30. We want to kick off and
be there for 5:30.
Just to get understanding, how many miles is this right in total? Just so me to prepare my mind.
I'll give you my $25.
We're gonna see Paul out there.
I'll give you my $25 so you could donate. Okay. And after you could ride for me and you.
Yeah, it's a good bit of miles, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's much shorter than when it started originally from Cayo to Belize, and we've tweaked it a bit to encourage anybody who wants to.
Do you have an aim for how much you're hoping to make this year?
A set figure, no. We're just looking forward to as much participation as possible. Like I said, it's for the promotion of the foundation, and also, I mean, not only bringing awareness, but looking at the outcome at the end for the students and the scholars who will benefit from these scholarships that we manage and provide.
All right, finally, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Definitely, we have sponsors. We wouldn't be able to do it without sponsors.
We couldn't do it without our sponsors.
Yeah.
So Galen University, like Ms. Silver said, they have been a partner from day one. We have Bowen & Bowen, Crystal, the Ordones Bike Shop, the DigiOne. They have been assisting us a lot. Brody's, the Belize City Council, the Belize Police Department, and as well as the Belize Transport Department.
All right,
no, like I said,
all there.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, Ms. Catus and Mr. Hyde, thank you all so much. Continue to do the awesome work in changing the lives of our Belizean youths and children across the country. It's really appreciated.
Wonderful. Thank you, Paul and April. And Paul, I'll have a special nutrition package for you.
Perfect.
Yes, when you register, you get a nutrition package, and at the completion of the race, you get an Ariel Rosado medal.
So you're going to go for me and you. From one initiative to another, one sport to another. We are going to take the break, and when we come back, it's all about basketball and the Belize City Defenders. Stay with us.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
My Social Security is your secure online account to manage all your Social Security information. My Social Security launched in March 2021 with registration service to apply online for new or replacement Social Security cards. Upgrades to My Social Security continues with a new look, enhanced customer experience, and its newest feature, Sickness Benefit Online Application. With My Social Security, you can create your account, log in, and take control of your Social Security information. This includes applying for a new or replacement Social Security card for yourself, child, or dependent. Make appointments online and submit your complete sickness benefit claim package. Our customer care team is here to provide you, our valued customers, with real-time support. Connect with one of our customer care agents through direct messages on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or live chat, or follow our YouTube channel for more information. Social Security at your fingertips. My Social Security.
Safety is a cornerstone of peace of mind. And for a long time, the Belize National Fire Service has been doing our best to help ensure the safety of the Belizean public. We see that there is more we can do. This is why we have embarked on certifying firefighters to also be able to provide emergency medical services to the communities that we have been proudly serving. This means that we can now assist with both fire and medical emergencies with efficient time. We went even further and created the 990 Communication Center, an emergency dispatcher service developed for quick responses to fires, accidents, and health calls. This service is already presently available for the Cairo region. Just dial 990 and the first question you will be asked is, 990, what is the address of your emergency? You see, if we don't know where you are, we can't get you the help you need. Stay on the line and continue to answer the questions of the dispatcher. They will use the Beacon app to give real-time updates to emergency responders as they approach the situation and will be prepared to serve you. The Belize National Fire Service, the U.S. Embassy of Belize, and Belize Heroes have partnered to make emergency medical services available. We ask for the public to partner with us and call 990 for emergencies. You are help until help arrives.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
I had a black dog. His name was Depression. Whenever the black dog made an appearance, I felt empty and life just seemed to slow down. He could surprise me with a visit for no reason or occasion. The black dog made me look and feel old.
All right, and we are back with our fourth and final conversation for this morning. And we have a set of the top basketball players right now in Belize from the Belize City Defenders, April.
The Belize City basketball team, apparently. So I've been told.
Defend the city.
Defend the city.
And so we have with us no strangers to our morning show, none other than Nigel Jones, JT Branch, Lorenzo Dillard, and the man himself, Marketing Director to Belize City Defenders, John Marsden. Good morning, gentlemen. I could sense the excitement
I
in the
could
room.
feel the excitement in the room. He's just like,
Yeah.
oh,
No, I think it's because they have a match against the PG Panthers tomorrow, and they're a bit nervous about that.
I don't want to call it nervous. I
could
want to
sense some
call it
nerves.
ready. And as I was told by a marketing director just a few seconds ago, it's called a revenge match. Yeah. Let's talk to us about it. John, tell us what we can look forward to.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, so we played the PG Panthers. If we go backtrack a little bit there, gave the Belize City Defenders their first loss in the BEBL. So, and at that game, we actually lost our top Belizean player.
Right.
It was Devin. So this match is all for Devin.
Yeah.
In workouts, the leaders just be telling the guys, yo, remember, we lost one of our soldiers in this game because of them. That's what we put it in our head.
That's the motivator.
Yeah. So everybody's just locked in. I mean, the practices are intense. You know, basketball is an emotional sport. We tend to keep that emotion that will drive a lot of people, sending the adrenaline in your body. So that we the keep. I mean, I'm there most practices, and I hear all the stuff that everybody is saying. People were shooting free throws, we're taunting each other, we're trying to get game ready, so to speak, right? Because anything can happen in the game. So in the practices, we try to make sure anything happens. Talk to them, shout at them, bang tables, bang chairs.
You make it as real as possible.
So just try to give them that level of realness to the practices. Probably give away the secret.
Well, that's okay. So I wanted first to go back to Devin Daly because it's the revenge match, but it was in that first match that Daly went down. And so how has he been doing? How has rehab been going for him?
He started rehab, I think it's the last week, yes. His surgery was successful. Thank God for that. I spoke to him probably 2 days ago, and I asked him, is everything going okay? He's like, yes, everything's good. I'm getting there. I just have the struggle is to actually bend his knee now, because he has actual strings, so to speak. I'm not sure if it's actually a string, but strings across and across his kneecap, holding his kneecap into place. So it's going to be a hard thing, but if anybody can do it, Devin can do it. Devin
so he's out for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And I guess it's more of a question for the basketball players, but what happens after that? How does something like that affect your performance? And are you able to still play and function at a professional level?
I mean, I feel like that's where the rehab actually comes into play. You know, that's why a lot of times when you go through an injury like that, something like that, some people tend to, I guess you could say, skip the process when it comes time to rehab. They don't take it serious. Oh, I could just go in and just chill out, but you have to actually push yourself to try to get back to the form that you were in before you got hurt. And the only way you're gonna do that, there are gonna be times it's gonna hurt, there's gonna be a lot of pain, but you got faith in the higher power, then you'll be fine. You just gotta keep your head down and keep pushing forward. So, our prayers are out with him. We hope he keeps, getting better, but we're gonna hold it down until he get back.
We talk about this Friday night's match being a revenge match because the Punta Gorda Panthers defeated you guys in that first matchup. My question is, how does that happen? How does a team that's at the bottom of the ranking come about, have a good night, and defeat a team like you guys that has maintained your spot in the top 4? What happened?
So that's the parity in the league, right? First of all, that was the best team they ever had. I don't know why they blew it up after that. That's not for me to say or for me to think, but they actually had a good team, right? They have the leading scorer, or I think he's the second leading scorer in the league. He's a beast. That dude can score in bunches, right? Basketball bounces away, so that I always say that you play with your food. You play puppy lick your mouth.
That's true.
That we went there bypassing them because they were at the bottom of the league, not thinking that they could beat us. We were just focusing on our tasks. We had an emotional game after that. Yeah. So our players, I don't want to say they kind of like played with them, but so to speak, we weren't taking it as serious. Now we know that, they gave us a loss. Yeah. We could have been, that loss could have been avoided. We would have been in #1 position because that's the thing with this league. Every win really counts. Every loss really counts. So you can go from 1 to 4 in a matter of one game. You can go from 1 to 5 in a matter of one game.
Because it's not only about you winning or losing, but about the performance in the games for the other teams and the other games as well. But in terms of what can be expected for tomorrow night, you guys are you won your last 2 games. That's coming off of a losing streak, which I'm sure is disappointing for the players and for your fans. Nobody wants, no Belize City Defender fan wants to hear after Friday night or Saturday night that, man, we lose again. Man, Hurricanes, they win. But what can be expected for tomorrow night's game? What do you expect?
I expect us to be a lot more intense, take it a lot more seriously. Like you said, we were in PG, and when we went in there, we kind of like overlooked it, kind of thinking that, if as long as, we just kind of just play solid, we got to take it a lot more seriously than what we did last time, We're going to execute things a lot more differently and also take advantage of the things that we did last time that were very successful that we didn't, do as much.
How do you stay motivated after coming in now? You've taken Devin's position, and now you have to come back with this revenge game. How do you guys stay motivated?
Just focused on the championship mentality, not worrying about the 3 losses that we had. Can't really dwell on what we can't change. So just trying to bounce back, trying to keep a lot of intensity, high volume, get the guys in together, trying to make a run out. And it's not more pressure on, I wouldn't say it's more pressure on us. It's just how we execute. Honestly, I wouldn't say we're in a bad position. And on top of that, we don't want it easy. So right now is.
You want the challenge.
Yeah, we want the challenge. Yeah.
So I must say, I believe in this team, right? I mean, I bias, yes. Yeah. But we've lost 4 games, none being more than 5 points. You have teams being blown away by 20, 30 points,
It's close.
Nobody can say they have beaten us more than 5 points.
Interesting.
Right? Everybody team have us in it. We're not playing them, but our name is still there for a reason. We're feared. They know what this team is capable of, and we're the only team that's not at full strength yet.
Right. And
we have 2 more players to come into the country, and they've not as yet.
Wow.
One will be in very, very, very soon, and the other one will come almost right behind. Right?
How many more matches do we have before we reach the playoffs?
So we have 4 more games. Every team except, I think it is San Pedro, I think, has 4 more games. No, I think Hurricanes also have 5 games left because they have back matches that weren't played. So it's every like I say, every game matters. Every game
it does.
Right from now on to June, July. Yeah. Every game will be a dog fight. So every game will entertaining everybody and come out for one, be the top dog in this league. Yeah. I mean, and like I said, I've stressed to my team. They've heard me emotionally, business-wise, my expectation of them, and I know now that everybody's locked on. Yes. Everybody's is focused and know what they need to do. So we're doing for this game, we're making it so to, we always advocate for kids. We try to give kids a vessel to I always say to give, the more vessels you give them, they'll jump in one and take flight from it. So sports is our way, right? Adults, we're asking you to bring your kids under 12 enter free. High school kids with their ID, you're able to enter for $5. General tickets are still $10. VIP seating is $15, and courtside is $25. So we're asking, people, we like the kids. We like to hear the cheers from them. We go to. My son is a big fan of him.
Yeah.
You signed some basketballs already? Yeah.
They signed tennis. We went to one of the primary schools, and they like one of my friend's daughter is there. He's like, John, why did you sign my daughter's hand?
You signed the picnic hand?
They asked me for the same thing. So I was like, you know what, it's fun to engage in that stuff. I mean, that helps them to know that they're appreciated, and it's helped the kids to know that I want to be like them.
Yeah.
You know?
And let me ask a question, because this is also a big game for Nigel, in that you're only a few points away from 11 points, right, from hitting 1,000 career points in Belize. I mean, that's huge. You're humbly taking it, but let's talk about that.
I mean, actually, when I saw the stat a couple of days ago, I was surprised because I honestly
you didn't know you weren't following.
I didn't know I was that close. Woo. So when they sent it to me, it was kind of like, because I would never expect that, you know. Yeah. That's why a lot of times I get asked about why every time I come back to Belize, I always play for defenders. Like, I will always love those guys because they gave me a chance when I felt like nobody else did. Yeah. So my loyalty will always be to them. So I just want them to know I appreciate them for allowing me to come to Belize and share my blessings with this team, this country, with the people. And I mean, you know.
He's not leaving.
Yeah, I'm not leaving as well. But we're gonna go out Friday, and hey, if it happens Friday, then you know, I just want to thank God that you know He allowed me to be able to, because that's a great accomplishment that a lot of people can't say that you know they've done.
So what? Let me ask then, for young people watching you, inspired by these types of moves that you're making. In short, what does it take? What does it require of an athlete to be able to reach such an achievement?
I mean, honestly, for me, like I never quit. Like, I know sometimes we might hit a couple little trials, a little adversity might hit here and there, but like, I was always brought up on the saying, you fall down 9 times, you got to stand up 10. Like, you have to always pick yourself back up and just keep one foot in front of the other and just keep going. So for me, I really never quit. I knew what I wanted to do. You know, there are people that they have their ways of going about things, and I just found my lane and I just stuck to it. So
super encouraging.
Yeah.
Very encouraging.
Right. So
the game tomorrow, I know you have your, you know the drill. Camera over there.
All right, so make we back chat tomorrow. Today, this evening, at the tavern, we actually do a meet and greet. We greet every home game, the Thursday before every home game. I encourage people to come out, meet the guys, talk to the guys, win prizes. We have cups, we have free shirts, we have free tickets given away. Just feel with the team, understand why the team is liked. Talk to the guys. Everybody's pretty friendly around there. But tomorrow, 9 p.m., tickets go on sale tomorrow morning as well at the Belize City box office. PG Panthers versus your Belize City Defenders, the most talked about, most feared team. Come out to see why we're so feared, liked, talked about. Come out to see just the tip of the iceberg, because like I say, we're still pretty much not at full strength. The other 2 guys are game changers for us. So this team is progressing very good together. We have a little bit of everything. Of the top 10 scorers in the league, the Defenders holds 4 of them. Right? So we can score in bunches. We know we have the name Defenders for a reason. We defend. And we give a lot of highlights. I like to say my team is high octane, high flying, sharp shooting. Right? We got a high flying, high octane, sharp shooting. And it transcends to my other team. My team, I have Greg Chippy Rodon, who's another sharp shooter. You can't leave that guy open. We have Faron Laureano. He's the number 1 scorer of all time in the league. We have the GOAT, Poppy Leslie. He's back. He's the number 2 scorer or number 3 scorer. I think Nigel is at number 6 or 5. We also have, who else? We have Greg Chippy. Chippy's at either 6 or 5 as well. They're one behind each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, if you look at the stats, you know why we call him the MVP. He's the driver of the team. He's the general of the team. He is the enforcer of the team, right? So we have a lot of everything. We have I'll leave it adversity. We faced. We bounced back pretty good from that. Again, like I stressed, nobody has beaten us more than 5 points. So we like to say that no team beat we. We made the mental mistakes. We made the mistakes, so we beat ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, this team is special. Yeah. And we just tell the public, come up and understand why we're special. Yeah. We tend to like to see the fans cheering for us. They play a bit better when you're hearing that roar. If you were at the City game, that game was intense. These guys rose to a new standard and us blow the next team. You know, so we talk the talk and we walk the walk. I don't like talk because I prefer my team show where they going.
You don't like that?
You have to thank the sponsors while you talk. So
yeah, so
do that.
let me thank the sponsors. Big up to Channel 5 as always. You guys are our gold sponsors for marketing with us. Moyo Uno Resorts, 123 Vegetable Oil, Honorable Anthony Mala, Premier Charters and Tours, the Tavern for feeding us every day. What else we got? We got Full Memory Photography, Body 2000, Smiling Meats, Belize City Council, Madisco. We have, what else we got? We got Print Inc., our printing sponsors. Oh man, they're my neighbors and I'm forgetting them. Also, we have to big up Mars Rental, Nocturnal for doing our videographing for us, and I'm missing one. Oh, Shisha 8. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you can't forget Shisha 8.
But yeah, thanks to everybody that helps us. I mean, this is a journey. This is a
So the game begins at 9 tomorrow.
Yes, the game begins at 9 p.m. sharp.
So we want to get there for 8 o'clock, 8:30.
8:30 is a good time to sit and think. To get to see the entrance. We have the Lee Glamour entrance. So we normally try put out, make the guys and get hype up from the start.
Okay. All right.
And along with the cheers, everybody want to enjoy the game.
Oh, you going for that one too?
Of course.
All right,
I'm there for all of them.
You have to. Sports Monday.
All right, so that's the Belize City Defenders, fourth in the league currently. They play. Yeah, you're tied for third with the with Orange Walk, but
just
you're
get in the
fourth.
spot.
All right, good. Play against Punta Gorda Panthers tomorrow night as they continue their journey to the playoffs. So you don't want to miss tomorrow night. With that, we'll take our final break.
Yes, we'll
and
be back
right back
for a wrap-up. Stay with us.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Whether you are getting ready for school or the office, or to work on a construction site, there is one common factor. Great days start by looking your best. From the moment you start to button your shirt, strap your boots, or straighten your badge, every detail of your uniform was sourced with you in mind. At Tropicana Store, we pride ourselves in providing the highest quality, most durable uniform brands. Our collection includes 100% cotton or dry fit, wrinkle-free, smart crease, and machine washable options. Your uniform is a reflection of you, and you deserve to look your best. Visit Tropicana Store today and see for yourself the high quality that only we can provide. Your uniform, your identity, your choice. Only at Tropicana Store.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
And we are back wrapping up our Friday Junior. Thursday. We want to thank all of our guests for tuning in. It was a very educational awareness day today, Paul, and it all began with the Resilient Reefs initiative strategy. And of course, that will be launched today at the Biltmore at 9:30. And it's all about how we as coastal communities can create initiatives to better sustain our coral reef and to create sustainable jobs and so forth all around the coast in Belize to boost our economy.
And then, of course, we had our friends over from TASA, and they're celebrating their 10th year in existence. Amazing work they're doing over there. And in the same line in terms of amazing work, the Ariel Rosado Foundation is also doing some impressive stuff with education and Belizean youth. And they have their event coming up April 22nd. Yes. Their ride. Annual ride. And so that's huge. And we want to thank them for joining us.
And of course, we wrapped up our Thursday morning with the Belize City Defenders. And of course, their game is tomorrow night, Friday, April 21st at 9 p.m. Tickets go out at the box office tomorrow morning, so you don't want to miss that game. They are playing with the PG Panthers. Is that it? Yes.
They're playing against them, not playing with them.
Against.
I'm just kidding, April.
It's a revenge game, so
it
of
is
course.
a revenge match.
But of course, we want to thank all of you, our viewers, for tuning in every single day and just making sure that we are right here to have these conversations with you at home.
I truly appreciate the viewers that spends the entire time with us.
I appreciate the viewers that spend the entire time with us. I appreciate the viewers that send me messages and ask questions and send us messages and comments in our lives so that we know that you are being in tune with the conversation at home. But we gotta go, and I want to say I don't have a birthday shout out.
Yeah, I don't.
If it's your birthday, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
And if you want to give a birthday shout out, you can always drop us a line right here at oie@channel5belize.com. catch our live stream on Facebook every day at Open Your Eyes BC and all of our highlights on Instagram at OYE Belize. And of course, you can join us again tomorrow on this lovely, fun Friday when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Be sure to keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts.
We'll see you again tomorrow, Belize. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.